Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're tackling a really influential text, one that's sparked a decade of debate in the startup world. Peter Thiel's 0 to 1. Thiel, co-founder of PayPal, early Facebook investor, quite the figure. He wrote this book basically saying, forget incremental steps. Real value comes from creating something totally new, going from 0, nothing, to 1, something unique. So our mission today is, well, to see if that core idea holds up. Does that push for radical innovation, 0 to 1, still make sense in, let's face it, the crazy, fast, saturated world of 2025, especially with AI everywhere?
Yeah, and that's the critical question, isn't it? When 0 to 1 came out, it really was a paradigm shift. Before that, a lot of the thinking was just grow fast, 1 to N, replicating what works. Thiel forced people to think about radical innovation first. It was like he was asking founders to be, well, philosophers before they were engineers. Find the unique thing first. Okay, so let's nail down the original argument. What were the core messages back then? This point about competition being bad always stood out to me.
That's really central. He argued that direct competition, that one-to-N path, inevitably leads to what he called price wars, basically a race to the bottom where profits just evaporate. Real lasting value, in his view, comes from escaping that competition altogether, create something fundamentally new.
But escaping competition usually leads to a monopoly, right? And that word carries a lot of baggage. Why did he see monopoly as not just inevitable, but maybe even good?
Right, and that's where it got controversial. He talked about a healthy monopoly, not the kind propped up by shady deals or regulations, but one that arises naturally because you've built something just so uniquely valuable, so hard to copy that you're alone for a while. If your company solves a problem, say, 10 times better than anyone else, you've earned that temporary monopoly. And that position, he argued, lets you invest in big, long-term R&D, not just scramble for quarterly targets.
Okay, earned, not just captured. And finding secrets was key to getting there.
Exactly. Secrets were his term for overlooked truths, non-obvious insights about technology or the market that everyone else was missing. The future belonged to those who could find and build on these secrets.
So it wasn't just the idea itself.
No, absolutely not. He stressed that things like company culture, having a vision that stretches out for decades, and getting investors who believe in that long haul, those are way more crucial than just, scaling super fast right out of the gate. You need a solid foundation.
That blueprint sounds powerful. Find a secret, build something unique, ignore the competition. But okay, fast forward, 2025. It feels like a different planet. Everything's crowded. The tech tools are everywhere. Why is 0 to 1 just fundamentally harder now?
It really is a different game board. I mean, the basic tools to build something are incredibly accessible now, almost democratized, but the ability to truly differentiate yourself, that's become incredibly scarce. I see maybe 4 big interconnected challenges that really test Thiel's original thesis today. First, and maybe the most obvious one, is AI and these powerful general technologies. Building an app, getting a basic product out, it's faster, cheaper than ever.
Right, you can spin up an MVP pretty quickly.
But doesn't that actually make differentiation tougher? If you and 5 competitors can all use AI to generate 80% of your initial product almost instantly, where's the unique edge?
Okay, so the technical moat, the barrier to entry that used to protect innovators is just lower or gone in some areas.
It's significantly lower for many things, yeah, which shifts the whole game away from just building fast towards what's truly proprietary underneath. And that connects directly to the second challenge, hypersaturated markets. Think back to the early 2010s, there was still so much open digital space.
Yeah, lots of blue ocean territory.
Now, almost every single domain, whether it's fintech, health tech, entertainment, education, you name it, there are huge, well-funded incumbents. Just breaking through that noise is immense. So achieving 0 to 1 today often requires more than just a clever idea. It needs what I'd call a deep philosophical or maybe even a scientific advantage, something truly foundational that can't be easily replicated using off-the-shelf AI or standard cloud tools.
So it has to be more fundamental than just a feature. And even if you do find that kind of deep innovation, challenge number 3 comes knocking pretty fast, right? The sheer speed of competition.
Oh, absolutely. Back when the book was written, maybe you had, a year? 18 months, perhaps, to build momentum before the big players really noticed and reacted.
That felt like the window, yeah.
That window has basically slammed shut.
Mhm.
Now, if a startup launches something genuinely novel and it gets any traction, you can bet the giants are analyzing it within weeks, sometimes days. They can throw hundreds of engineers at it, leverage massive existing user bases and data sets, use their own sophisticated AI to mimic the core functionality. That secret advantage you had can evaporate incredibly quickly. You need a defense plan from day one.
Wow. So protection isn't an afterthought, it's part of the launch plan.
It has to be. And finally, there's challenge number 4. The whole landscape of ethics and regulation. The world today is, rightly, much more critical about how tech operates. Issues like data privacy, how AI models are trained and used, environmental impact. These aren't niche concerns anymore. They're major public and regulatory issues.
Things you can't just ignore.
Exactly. And these concerns, which are vital for building trust and long-term survival, can definitely put constraints on the kind of move fast and break things approach that was maybe more common, or at least less scrutinized, a decade ago. Breaking things now comes with a potentially huge ethical and regulatory price tag.
That's a massive shift. Innovation kind of has guardrails now, built in from the start, based on public expectation and potential regulation. Okay, so if the core philosophy, the need for uniqueness, still holds, how do we update 0 to 1 for this reality? How does it survive these 4 challenges in the AI age?
It definitely needs an update, not a replacement. The first thing that needs reinterpretation is the idea of a secret. What constitutes a defensible secret has changed. Old secrets, like maybe finding a niche market nobody noticed or a clever distribution hack, those are too easy to spot and copy now. The new secret has to be rooted in something much harder to acquire.
So when you talk about data knowledge or scientific innovation as the new secrets, what does that look like practically? Are we talking about building a fundamentally better AI model or the research behind it?
It's about truly proprietary assets. Data knowledge could mean having access to a unique data set. Maybe it's deeper or structured in a way no one else has, or annotated with unique insights that lets your AI do something competitors just can't replicate, even with the same underlying algorithms. And for scientific advantage, yes, that points towards deep R&D. Maybe it's material science, a breakthrough in physics, or a genuinely novel algorithm that took years of specialized research. It's not just the code, it's the unique input or the fundamental science discovery that underpins it.
Got it. So the new 0 to 1 isn't just a better app interface. It might be building the unique factory, the data engine, or the core IP that powers something new. That must change how you even pitch to investors.
Completely. And it also forces an update to the idea of monopoly. We need to think more in terms of an ethical monopoly.
Ethical monopoly. How does that work?
It means your defensible position, your monopoly, isn't just built on having unique tech anymore. It's increasingly built on brand and deep customer trust. Things competitors can't just buy or code their way into. Operating ethically, being transparent about data and AI, respecting privacy, these aren't just nice-to-haves, they become competitive moats. You dominate through trust built over time as much as through technical superiority.
That makes sense. Trust is hard to copy.
Very. And linked to that, the focus of the innovation has to shift more towards the total human experience. Back in 2014, maybe just having a new type of tech product, like cloud storage when it was novel, was enough for a 0 to 1 leap. Today, with so many good enough solutions, the innovation really needs to address a significant human challenge. It has to deliver a clearly superior, almost frictionless experience that fits into people's lives better. If it's only slightly better, the incumbents will likely crush it with their existing reach.
So solving a deeper need and doing it elegantly, which leads, I guess, to the final update needed how you approach the market itself.
Exactly. This might be the toughest mental shift for pure Thiel adherents. The old mindset was often, go it alone, disrupt everything. Given today's realities, the saturation, the power of incumbents, the smarter play is often partnership versus blind competition.
So working with the giants, not just against them.
Sometimes, yes. It means thinking strategically about the ecosystem. Where do you fit? Can you partner with established players for distribution, data, or security? Trying to build everything, including the ecosystem around you, from scratch is incredibly difficult now. Sustainable building often means finding your place within the existing structure, maybe even collaborating with potential competitors in certain areas.
Okay, this is crystallizing. It sounds like 0 to 1 is still essential, but more as a philosophical compass making you ask, is this truly unique? Rather than a step-by-step tactical map.
That's exactly how I see it. The core imperative, seek genuine uniqueness. Don't just join the competitive fray that feels timeless. But the how has changed dramatically. Being unique is necessary, but it's no longer sufficient. You have to be unique and instantly defensible.
So for anyone starting something new today, listening to this, What are the absolute must-haves, the updated requirements?
I think there are two right off the bat. First, brutal honesty with yourself. Is this idea truly groundbreaking? Or is it really just a slightly better, faster, cheaper version of something that already exists? Because if it's the latter, you're basically just signing up for those hyper-accelerated price wars Thiel warned about, fueled by AI replication. You'll be one to N from day one.
And the second requirement, which feels like the big 2025 edition.
If your idea does pass that first test, if it is genuinely unique, you absolutely need your protection and scalability strategy mapped out before you launch. Even before you write the first serious line of code, how are you building that moat? Is it proprietary data? Is it fundamental scientific IP? Is it that deep brand trust we talked about? Strategic partnerships. You need to know, because the moment you prove there's value, the copying machine starts running at full speed. So no, 0 to 1 isn't dead or expired, not at all. But you have to read it through the lens of 2025. You have to understand the speed, the ethical landscape, the saturation. The core truth holds. Aim to create something fundamentally new. Don't just compete. Build the thing that changes the definition.
Which brings us to the final question for you, the listener. Given everything we've discussed, the market saturation, the incredible power and speed of AI replication, the ethical considerations, do you actually believe it's still possible? Can someone find an idea today that truly goes from 0 to 1, carving out that unique, uncontested space, even temporarily? Or has the frontier closed, leaving us only with the 1 to N path of relentless competition? Something to think about.